Yeah, so as long as lower emotion rules, then you're going to have this kind of, I guess you might say, violence and solution. For them it's a solution. See, they feel that the solution is intolerance and that it's best to have everybody dead, and then we have no problems. So kill everybody and the problem's gone. So kill all the other enemies and the problem's gone. But that's not the problem. The problem is not who's out here. The problem is what level are they working from. So if you're working from a sexual level, right, a lower chakra sexual level, then the violence is second nature. It's it's exactly what it is. So you have to release yourself. You have to release them in the most horrible manner. See? And that's basically related to the lower function of the sex chakra.
I was going to ask if there's
ejaculation, right? Spontaneous or premature ejaculation leads to extraordinary, profound violence. Right? Theory.
I was going to ask if there's like an 8th house Pluto influence there, because I know in the media.
You mean in the chart of the planet? It's understood. You know, the time of darkness is present, but with this is also the time of light. So when you have darkness, you have light. And so the forces of light are also on the rise. And we just need to align ourselves with the forces of light. And that's really the important thing, is to understand that because it seems that the darkness is on the rise, so to speak, or more obvious and stepping up, it's a manifestation of it is showing up. Right? Where now the nations are being brought into what is properly now, appropriately and finally becoming a world war kind of posture. See, the third world war now. See, it's finally coming into perspective, see, for some people. See. And so this is good. Anyway, it depends on how the authorities and these leaders handle it, because it could be good in terms of changing the field for the better, see, if they act creatively and more strategically, and can cooperate amongst themselves and use their genius for not just warfare, but for creating solutions to make it less about warfare and more about message to the people. But yes, obviously, because of such a barbaric level of consciousness, destruction is going to be necessary, but at what level and on what scale does it have to be necessary? See? So we have to understand that what's really missing is message. See? And we're talking about a universal heart message rather than more of the same neuroses relative to the sex chakra, which is all about opposition, right, and polarization, and the need for neutralization. Some people think the orgasm is neutralization. Well, it's momentary, but it's not real. It's for the moment, see. But we need a real so-called orgasm, see. And that is a real solution, a real release of that. And so we need a higher level of communion that benefits mankind, see, in general. And so that takes the coming together of many spiritual forces and spiritual ideas that can compromise selfishness and self-serving politics, and then we can stand together on the mountain, see, of accomplishment. Say, yes, look, we had the ability to do this all the time, and we've come together for this. See, so this is great. And we need a higher message out here than just religious bigotry. Religious bigotry is a dumb message. It's a no message, okay? It's for beginners on the path. I don't care how big the egos are, those individuals who are leading these movements of political bigotry, but we need to go beyond that. We need to see that as child's play. We need a bigger heart, we need a bigger picture. We have to now go deeper into our own human nature and step up to the plate of a universal wisdom. But that's not going to come easily with the forces that are being unleashed on the planet at the moment. So There's much to repair, there's much to inspire, and there's very little time to waste, actually. This is an urgent moment in the history of the earth, and wise and, say, creative action must be taken, see, to protect what there is left to protect of the earth and its inhabitants. See? And so that much I'm very clear about. And we're talking about planetary. It's also planetary, really, with Uranus and Pluto and their stressful configurations. Yeah, this is all about that. This is the time for this. And it's exact. I mean, it's really astonishing how precise this is. And this is showing up now. I mean, people are not watching the times and the signs of the times. And so people are ignorantly going against the obvious, the manifestations of time that we can say are somewhat astrologic, if you know how to read that and you're intelligent enough to make sense of it, say, as a profound gift given to mankind. It's there, it's all written, and it's being manifested, it's obvious. The timing is really even shocking right now. It's a time of warfare, but we want to spiritualize that as much as possible. I don't mean religious politics, I mean just heart compassion. And the message has to be changed. See, we have allowed certain religions and their biases and their prejudices to receive too much power, in a sense. And they need to be accountable for the destructiveness of certain principles and ideas in their teachings that need to be purged so that mankind can start anew without these biases and prejudices against other nations and races and traditions. So it's really a matter of understanding that if we're talking about the God force and the God factor, we are not talking about destruction. The God force as such is a benign force that leads more to the realization of compassionate, loving kindness for those who can access that level of elevation of spirit and intelligence. And beneath that, we have infinite strife and pain and suffering. And that's because whatever the system is producing results that we'd have to say are typical of unenlightened action and understanding. See, we need enlightened action and understanding. We need to work from that if that's at all possible.